Naomi Osaka had her first true press conference since the Roland Garros situation, and it didn't really go too smoothly. In her pre-tournament presser, Osaka spoke more openly about her feelings of the French Open aftermath and the amount of support she received the past few months. Here's what she said in regards to that.
I would say for me, in that moment, I wasn't really proud. I felt like it was something I needed to do for myself. And more than anything, like, I felt like I holed up in my house for a couple weeks, and I was a little bit embarrassed to go out because I didn't know if people were looking at me in a different way than they usually did before. But I think the biggest eye-opener was going to the Olympics and having other athletes come up to me and say that they were really glad that I did what I did. So after all that, yeah, I'm proud of what I did, and I think that it was something that needed to be done. Yeah.
Also, when asked what she thought could be improved with the whole press process, Naomi said that she hoped it'd be a more friendly experience with less repetitive questions. She also believes there should be a sick day system in a sense where players can instead respond to questions via email. Things at this point were pretty good. There was a nice respectful discourse between Naomi and the reporters, and steps were made to establish a greater relationship between both entities. Then Daugherty from the Cincinnati Enquirer stepped to the mic, and everything went downhill. Just take a listen to the whole ordeal yourself.
Follow up on that last question. You're not crazy about dealing with us, especially in this format. Yet you have a lot of outside interests that are served by having a media platform. I guess my question is, how do you balance the two? And also, do you have anything you'd like to share with us about what you did say to Simone Biles?
When you say I'm not crazy about dealing with you guys, what does that refer to?
Well, you've stated you don't especially like the press conference format.
Mm,
And yet that seems to be the obviously the most widely used means of communicating to the media and through the media to the public.
that's interesting. I would say the occasion, like when to do the press conference, is what I feel is the most difficult. But sorry, I'm thinking. Um,
I think we can move on to the next question. Naomi, do you want to move on to the next question?
no, I'm actually very interested in that, like, point of view. So if you could repeat that, that'd be awesome.
The question was that you're not especially fond of dealing with the media, especially in this format. You have suggested there are better ways to do it, that we'd like to try to explore that. My question, I guess, was you also have outside interests beyond tennis that are served by having the platform that the media presents to you. My question is, how do you think you might be able to best balance the two?
I mean, for me, I feel like this is something that I can't really speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself, but ever since I was younger, I've had a lot of media interest on me, and I think it's because of my background as well as, how I play. Because in the first place, I'm a tennis player. That's why a lot of people are interested in me. So I would say in that regards, I'm quite different to a lot of people, and I can't really help that there are some things that I tweet or some things that I say that kind of create a lot of news articles or things like that. And I know that it's because I've won a couple Grand Slams and I've gotten to do a lot of press conferences that these things happen. But I would also say, like, I'm not really sure how to balance the two. Like, I'm figuring it out at the same time as you are, I would say.
Clearly, Naomi was very bothered by this question, as after she gave the response, she immediately started tearing up and ultimately broke down in tears after Courtney Nguyen of the WTA asked her a question.
Ask a couple of tennis questions. The first one is just how the training has been and how your preparation has been for the summer hard court swing. And the second one is just related to your tweet over the weekend, related to what's going on in Haiti. Just what your reaction is to the news there. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're super good.
Okay, I think we're just going to take a quick break. We'll be back in one moment.
Ben Rothenberg of the New York Times was first to report about this and solely tweeted saying, 4 or so questions went smoothly, Naomi was doing well. Then someone from the Cincinnati Enquirer asked her a fairly aggressively toned question about how she benefits from a high media profile but doesn't like talking to the media. Osaka tried to engage, but after her answer began crying. The WTA moderator paused the press conference. Osaka left the room, recollected herself, and returned to answer the remaining question in English. Ben continued to tweet. Osaka then answered Japanese questions to complete her press conference. This was deeply frustrating. The tennis media people who know Naomi or whom Naomi knows had it going smoothly, and then a local reporter completely derailed it. Don't blame this on tennis media again, folks. Naomi's agent Stuart Daugherty wasn't happy at all with what went down, with the press stating, "The bully at the Cincinnati Enquirer is the epitome of why the player/media relations are so fraught right now. Everyone on that Zoom will agree that his tone was all wrong and his sole purpose was to intimidate. Really appalling behavior. And this insinuation that Naomi owes her off-court success to the media is a myth. Don't be so self-indulgent." So that was all that went down, and honestly I thought that what Paul asked would have been a lot harsher, as Ben said that it was aggressively toned and Stewart said that he was being a bully. I thought it was a pretty fair question. Paul was right. Naomi did say that she doesn't like the press conference format. However, I don't think that his question was 100% perfect, because Naomi isn't saying that she doesn't like dealing with the media, she just feels like it could be reformed. He was basically saying that since your outside interests are greater served by this media platform, how do you deal with that inversion? And clearly Naomi didn't like the question. I think Ben and Stewart definitely overreacted. Paul did not bully Naomi at all. He was pretty respectful actually when he restated his question and reclarified the question. The issue is that his question resonated with the critiques Naomi received from many, which is, how do you say you don't necessarily like their press but are able to still have it to utilize it to fulfill your other endeavors? Once again, when I went searching for this press conference for the video footage of it, I expected something really rude and condescending from Paul, but Ben did overreact and misinterpreted his tone, as he has a tendency to do. Anyways, I do hope that Naomi is okay, because it's a lot to deal with having so many eyes and attention on you. Then also, I know the situation in Haiti is on her mind as well, so I want her to be in the right mental headspace above all. That wasn't the only eventful thing to happen in the pre-tournament press conference, as new world number 3 Stefanos Tsitsipas ruffled quite a bit of feathers. When asked about the COVID vaccine, Stefanos said that he hasn't gotten the shot and would only do so if he's required to. I'm just going to quickly give my opinion, because I know this is a very sensitive topic, especially on YouTube. I believe people, and chiefly these tennis players who travel all across the world, need to be vaccinated, especially with this Delta variant going on. The vaccine doesn't protect people from getting COVID, but it does lower your possibility of having worsened symptoms. Moving on, the first full day of Cincinnati is complete, and going over some of the results, Andy Murray picked up a solid straight sets win over Richard Gasquet, winning 6-4, 6-4. Joining him as victors today are Karen Khachanov, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Alex de Minaur, Lloyd Harris, and Fabio Fognini. Newly 20-year-old Jannik Sinner earned a nice straight sets B-Day win over Federico Del Bonis. Fellow birthday boy Diego Schwartzman advanced past Dan Evans in 3 sets, but got into a bit of a spat with the Brit in the 3rd set. I don't even know what was going on, but it wasn't much, as they seemed pretty cool at the net. On the women's side, in the most anticipated match of the day, Petra Kvitova defeated 2019 champion Madison Keys 7-5, 6-4. Madison did play better than in Montreal, but still hasn't recaptured that title-winning form from 2 years ago. The points from that win just came off a few days ago, and with this loss, Maddie falls outside the top 40 and would be unseeded for the US Open. Meanwhile, the real match of the day was between Paula Badosa and Petra Martic. The Spaniard saved 5 match points in a 3-hour dramatic thriller. Up next, she'll get 3rd seed Aryna Sabalenka. The best performance of the day, in my opinion, is Angelique Kerber, who dominated Maria Sakkari 2-2. I honestly thought this match would be much closer, but Angie came out with her Wimbledon form and really took it to the Greek woman. She'll now face Elena Svitolina. Also, some fellow slam champs Barbora Krejcikova and Yelena Ostapenko advanced in straights. Jen Brady won her first match back since return from injury, while Danielle Collins pulled the plug in her match with Shelby Rogers due to an ongoing knee injury. That's all for this video, and let me know in the comments what you think about Naomi's press conference and if Daugherty was indeed being a bully. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.